Today's session is all about meta loving kindness, about having a friendly attitude to ourselves to provide the inner strength we need to carry us through this particular social distancing, and more in particular, accepting yourself and being able to thrive emotionally. Now, meta-loving kindness comes from the Buddhist principles, self-compassion, but psychologists have found that it has a massive benefit, and looking into the work of Christine Neff in particular, it's all about drawing us into psychological change. We shape our brains fundamentally according to what we bring our attention to and what we focus on. So it's having the intention to have a specific attention to change the way within which we attend to things. With the principles of mindfulness, John Kabat-Zinn talks about this sense of kindness, curiosity, openness, this non-judgmental attitude, this beginner's mind. And what it does is it helps to totally rewire your brain. There is something called, what the psychologists called, negativity bias. We can get caught up in a very unfriendly, very critical attitude to ourselves. We would never allow our best friends to talk to the way that we talk to ourselves, but we do. Now, adverse negativity bias is an ingrained habit, and the more that you practice loving kindness and metta meditations, the more that you start to become impatient with your condemning self-critical attitude, and you start to notice how you are resisting being open to positive change. So, the psychology of it, before we go into the practice, I'm going to do it very, very quickly because that's what we're going to do. We are hardwired for negativity. It is a survival mechanism, okay? We are evolved to react more strongly to negative experience than we are to positive experience. And the reason being is it's the carrot and stick principle. Now, obviously, before we lived in, I know it's a bit ironic me saying this, but before we lived in safe, comfortable Western society, okay, we never really needed to worry about the punishment principle of the fact that there were predators. I know I'm going to say it now, it all sounds ironic, disease and injury, okay, and that our brain is always looking around without us knowing, always sort of hyper alert for danger. But that also means that we're also hyper alert for picking out the negative situation in the day rather than the positive. And also being more self-critical with ourselves. So it keeps us safe from danger. That's brilliant. Isn't it fantastic that this negativity bias has kept us safe from danger? We don't need to worry about predators as much. I know we're talking about disease. We are driven fundamentally by basic drives, okay? This is our amygdala, our reptile brain. The carrot, food, sex and shelter. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the very bottom rung, the essential needs. We've moved up in Western society to self-actualisation at the top of this pyramid. We don't need to worry about, keeping ourselves safe as much. Now, it's very, very important that how do you rewire your brain to be more positive, less negative? I always like, my favourite programme is What We Did in the Shadows. And there's a character in there, okay, and he's called, he's an energy vampire, and he just works in the office. And what he does is he goes up to characters and he just complains. And he basically sucks the energy out of people, okay? And he's quite a funny character in What We Did in the Shadows. And we always seem to know that one particular person who sees the negativity rather than the positive. But like I said, it's the default position of your brain. That is the default position. You have to rewire it through gratitude and journaling. And I've talked about journaling before. You have to repeat a constant neural activity all the time, that repeated focus, to incline yourself towards a positive, friendly attitude to yourself and to everything that happens, but being patient. So let's do the practice, because I don't want to spend too much time. I realise it's 6 minutes past 7 and we're finishing at 20 past. So, really important, your posture. Always remember that. Now, if your knees are higher than your hips, I would suggest you find something to support and elevate your hips. We start with our resourcing, which is really, really important. Our resourcing fundamentally is grounding. This is what you come back to every time your mind gets distracted. Remember, you're hardwired to be distracted because you're looking for danger. That's your brain. Okay, they did a test. They found that 47% of the time that your mind is distracted. That's not a problem when you're being mindful, practicing mindfulness. It's always remember to notice where it's gone, kindly bring it back. Now, so get yourself in your alert but relaxed position. Imagine that your spine is long and your chin is slightly tilted in. Buddhists call this, imagine that your vertebrae is like a pile of stacked golden coins. So, eyes closed, okay, or soft gaze looking down. I'm going to do soft gaze. If you're worried, traditional Buddhist breathing, I don't like it, is breathing in and out through the mouth. I dribble. I like to have my eyes closed. I like to, or looking down, and I always put the tip of my tongue in between the palate and my teeth to stop myself from dribbling. Okay, so that's really important. Remember when we talked about the 7-point yoga postural alignment? If you want to find out where to put your hands, dangle your hands just down, okay? And without moving your shoulders, just hinge at your elbows and then lift your hands, and then you know where to put your hands so you don't get uncomfortable. So you have this openness in the chest, don't you? Okay, that's really, really important. And then we'll close our eyes or soft gaze now, and then we'll go into our practice, but I'll lead you gently in. Okay, so we're just going to begin by receiving, being aware of our resourcing, our grounding. Just notice the contact of whatever you're sitting on. And with the qualities of mindful friendliness, and with this sort of attitude of appreciation, just notice how your seat is providing you with support. And just tune into this sensation. Just linger in this place of steadying, the body rooted. And if your mind wanders, just check. Just notice where it's gone. Don't follow the thoughts or the impulses. And patiently, again and again, come back to this curious interest to the awareness of your seat, the contact of your hips to whatever is supporting you. To feel your seat, your hands against your thighs, and just notice whatever is presented to you. Feel the weight of your hands, and just come back to this anchor, this home base. Return to it at any time. This support, noticing whatever you feel here in this present moment, this grounded connection every time you feel or you are distracted by thoughts or sounds in your vicinity. And just be open, responsive to the experience of this present moment. And just as an intention for this practice, just remind yourself and be aware that we are all here to cultivate our well-being, a wishing well of the here and now, that we want the best for ourselves and for the others participating in this practice by using the following silent phrasing. You may have your own formula, but allow them to drop into your mind and just see what comes up. Silent phrasing inside of your head as a wish to all these people present in this guided relaxation, this self-compassion metta meditation. May you be safe and well. May you be peaceful. May you live with ease and kindness. And direct any gathering or watching or listening, any noticing that you may be distracted, bring it back to your home base, the contact between your hips, the floor, hands on thighs, feet on floor. Try to notice how it feels to both receive and extend these phrases. Imagine that you are sending out goodwill and that we are cultivating this goodwill. May you be safe and well. May you be peaceful. May you live with ease and kindness. And let go of the phrases. Try to dwell in the warm sense of the body just sitting here again. Not doing anything. Just allow the mind to just simply be. Allowing things to drift in and out of your awareness without analysing, intellectualising, labelling, like clouds going across the sky. Just being aware, observing the river. You are not the river. With a detached, curious awareness of what is right here, right now. And in the midst of how you find this difficult time, it's important that we recognise the struggle we are all individually feeling, and also as a universal experience, and how we wish for our own deeper well-being. We wish for our own good health. Repeating the silent phrases once again, but to include just ourselves. May I be safe and well. May I be peaceful. May I live with ease and kindness. And if it feels right for you, based on the previous sessions where we've experimented with soothing touch, you may want to use anything that comforts you right here, right now, gently placing a hand on wherever it feels right for you. And to make us understand and recognise the struggle that we're going through, we're going to add at the end of the phrases, in the midst of this. May I be safe and well in the midst of this. May I be peaceful in the midst of this. May I live with ease and kindness in the midst of this. And just let those phrases drop. And just come back to the sense of the body. Come back to the sense of the seat, the feet, the hands. A sense of coming home to the body. And contact with whatever is holding and supporting you. As we set an intention appreciation to nourish and notice that we extend a sense of friendliness to ourselves. An intention that whenever it occurs, whenever we notice that we are criticizing ourselves, or find that negative voice, the tone, popping into our heads, speaking, try to remember this friendliness to yourself and to others. Okay. Namaste. So that completes today's metta meditation. I think the most important thing is that if you reuse the phrases yourself at any point or adapt them, that it's really nice to add in the midst of this at the end, because we're all finding it very, very hard. And metta, self-compassion, is one of the best antidotes to anxiety and fear and low mood. And rewires the brain. It is probably the best, even though you may feel at present that there is a sense of inauthenticity to the way that we do this. And I've talked about this on Sunday, the way that we backdraft, it can bring back to us negative memories of when we wasn't appreciated, or when we've lost that sense of appreciation and that loving kindness. But always remember to be gentle with yourself and be kind. And the most important thing is to take it steady, dosing slowly. Don't go too in, just take it nice and gently. Okay, namaste. I hope you enjoy this evening. It's Tuesday. Take care. And I will see you for the yoga tomorrow, Wednesday, 7 in this live, then recorded. Thursday we'll be doing another 20-minute practice. Friday we're focusing on sleep, because I've noticed that hashtag I can't get to sleep is the biggest trending thing at the moment. It's very hard, isn't it? We've lost our routine. Not just losing our routine, we're losing a lot of sunlight. I found out that I have got vitamin D deficiency, and that's why I've got really bad eczema. But it's going now because I've got vitamin D tablets. We're not getting out as much as we used to. We've lost our routine, and there's lots of factors. The fear factor, the anxieties, not helping. So Sunday's all about sleep. And then, don't forget Thursday, another 20 minutes. So take care. Namaste.